Is it gonna work? And we're live. Good evening, everyone. Whether you are watching this real time or on the replay on Instagram or Facebook. I'm hearing the Chris Brown song, Wet, Wet, Wet. Yeah, I'm hearing that song. Also, why I'm wearing blue, there is a very strong water energy coming through. Working with sodalite, lapis lazuli and pearls, blue kyanite, Piscean something. I really love my dreams whenever I sleep with this crystal under my pillow. Let's see, amethyst, aquamarine. These all would be excellent pillow crystals. So for any of my fellow watchers who own crystals, those are some of the crystals you may play with. Also azurite and malachite. Those are some that you may play with. Turquoise, blue topaz, placing under your pillows when you're sleeping. So just some of those little hits. Right off the bat, I was called to pull from my new invisible deck. So I'm kind of struggling with how I'm going to show this to you guys. However, we'll make it work this way. So right off the bat, we have 6 of Pentacles upright, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, 7 of Pentacles in reverse, and 3 of Pentacles upright. So what I really like about this invisible deck is you put them on paper and then you kind of look at the story. So we see there is a woman and a child up here. She has 5 pentacles under her skirt, and she has 1 that she is either giving to the child because she's being generous, or she's hoarding, and so she's taking from the child, and she is hoarding into this pit. Now, for some people, I definitely feel it's the hoarding energy. So for some of you guys watching, you've hoarded too much of your energy, too much of your love. You are watching others without saying good job. You're not giving credit where credit is due. If you've done anything like this in any of your relationships, your jobs, your friendships, etc., then even if you weren't in a mental state, I understand that. However, the universe works on balance. And so now is the time that the scales are going to be balanced. So some of you may be feeling an extreme pitfall. We see here the 8 of Pentacles. He thought he had something built. He thought he had something totally, this could be like a marriage. He thought he had something, or she thought she had something in the bag. And then they fell. They fell from grace. So I'm hearing someone is having their fall from grace. However, it's because this past life, this past experience, you haven't been living totally in your authenticity. And because you haven't been living totally in your authenticity, the universe had to totally collapse this timeline on you. Now we see at the end here, the universe has literally broken this person down to their knees. And I just want to say right now, for any of you watching, if you have not prayed on your knees, then that is a practice I highly encourage you to start doing. If you have not had a moment where you have felt the universe break you down to your knees, if you not have felt a moment of how much pain has gone on in the world, or how much pain you've experienced or someone around you has experienced that has broken you down to your knees, now is the time to get down on your knees. Start praying. There's a very holy, sacred energy. I feel like that's what the water's coming in for. There is a very holy, sacred energy here where a lot of people who have been living in their head, who have been mentalizing their life, intellectualizing, analyzing, calculating, anyone who's been living in these ways is going to go through it rough the next 2 years. And we thought 2020 might have been rough. Oh, honey. We haven't even started yet. Have not even started yet. So now is the time that we really need to tap in to our humanity, our heart. You know, the ancients always say we have 3 hearts, the oldest heart being that in our gut, the second one, or 3 brains, the oldest one being that in our gut, the second brain being in the heart, and then the third brain, the youngest one, the most naive one, is the one in our heads, the one that most people use for their daily decisions. And Spirit is saying that is simply not going to cut it. It's not going to work. I know in my other readings I had been doing the intuitive messages first, but I just felt a calling to do the reading first. So that was just a little mini spread for some of you guys. We have the Ace of Wands with the Devil. Ooh, some of you guys are saying no to a hookup. Someone wants to hook up with you. That's the Ace of Wands. Someone wants, I just want bang, bang, bang. Someone wants that. That's why you have the Devil in reverse. And you're saying no because the Devil's in reverse. So someone here is rejecting getting together with someone because they know the other person literally just wants to get in their pants. So a lot of my kings and queens are up-leveling. You're realizing, oh my gosh, I was such a page to just go around and spread my legs for people or go around and stiffen my eggplant for people. And you're realizing, because I mean, you guys, it just goes with, as you have more self-worth and as you love yourself more, you know how to make love to yourself. You don't use other bodies and you don't let other people touch yours or use yours because you respect yourself. Totally understand the process to get there. However, a lot of these people have gone through that or are going through that and are now realizing they want something lasting. They want something that they can build. Oh, Tiana Taylor, build, let's build, let's build. All right, we have, this is funny, total opposite. Ooh, oh, okay, I see what you're playing with. We have 10 of Pentacles with 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So I like this because with the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, 6 of Pentacles in this vibe, in this deck, is very much tit for tat. It's, well, I'll do this if you do that. I do this today, you do that tomorrow. It's very 50-50. Someone acts a certain way, then you're like, well, I'm not gonna respond because I said the last thing. So like, they need to reach out again. This is pride, this is all ego, and someone is saying that they don't want to deal with that kind of energy anymore. They're not going to feed that energy. They're not going to feed people who just want to basically, you know, love is unconditional. So this is very conditional. So someone here is through with conditional love, and they only want unconditional love. With the 10 of Pentacles, this is also marriage, this is stability, this is something anchored. So with the 6 of Pentacles, it's very much I'm feeling like a Knight of Wands type of energy. So type of energy where you're like, you know, I just want to go have a good Friday night. I just want to have fun with someone. I just want to play around. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. And someone doesn't want that anymore. Someone's saying, I'm no longer going to entertain connections like this if someone doesn't want to properly build with me, if I don't see myself properly building with someone, if I don't see myself building a life with this person, then I don't want them anymore. I only want relationships, 10 of Pentacles, that will actually lead to something serious. Quote unquote. I only want a relationship that will be a true partnership, a true union. This is someone who is sick of just playing around. They really want a union. And for those of you who are in marriages, who are in relationships, 6 of Pentacles in reverse is there's a vicious cycle that's occurring. Oh, this ties in so lovely with my notes. So, obviously we know we live in a musical universe, and I had this very strong clairaudient message when I was walking Kenya the other night. I was watching couples, and I literally could hear like symphonies of orchestras, and it was like every like orchestra is like, I would look at a couple and I could like tune into their channel, so to speak, so I could hear like what kind of music their hearts would play together, and it would either, you know, be like, they're playing in harmony, they're working together, or it was this whole like, oh my gosh, it's like it's like squeaky instruments and it's like totally out of pitch and out of tune, and they're not even making music. It sounds like, you know, instruments that are just like screeching, or like nails on a chalkboard kind of sensation. And so for those couples who have not been playing a true symphony together, for the couples who have not really been playing and making a huge symphony of their relationship, of their love, you're saying, I'm sick of not making that symphony. I want to go to counseling. I want to work on this. I want to do the thing. You know, you're having the courage here to go to your partner and say, I'm not happy. I am not fulfilled in this relationship. I love you, and I don't know what's going on. I'm not fulfilled, but I'm not hearing the symphony, and I want to hear the symphony because you deserve it and I deserve it. So it's someone here that is saying no to any stale energy in their marriage or their relationship. So no more stale energy. All right. I like that. You know, so many people take way too long to say to their spouse, I'm not happy, I'm not fulfilled, whether it's in their bedroom life or with the work situation. Oh yeah, Page of Swords in reverse. So, and this is in your subconscious energy. So somebody here is, you really have a lot to say about the situation because Six of Pentacles in reverse. You're not fulfilled. You're not fulfilled. You want the Ten of Pentacles. You know you're worthy of that, but you're keeping it to yourself. Page of Swords in reverse. You're like, this is petty keeping tally. Like, this is like the petty stuff where you're like, he left the toilet seat lit up again, or she put the wet towel on the bed, or he put the dish in the sink, he couldn't rinse it and put it in the dishwasher, or he put it in the dishwasher and there's food all over it and he didn't rinse it properly. It's something petty like that, but it's like built up over time, and so it's like you use those things as excuses to not show love to the other person. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. It came out in the first reading. It's coming out again. This is the past energy. So something that you were building on. This is something that you've already committed to. This is something you've already been married. You've been married for a while, or you have a kid together. It's like you have a foundation together. Well, we live together. We have assets together. We have a child together. We decided to get married. We're engaged. We've been talking about getting engaged, or he has the ring, but he hasn't proposed yet. It's like something is preventing you, Page of Swords in reverse, from saying this information, because you're not going to say this information because of this Eight of Pentacles. But this Eight of Pentacles is in reverse because you're not fulfilled, because it's Six of Pentacles, a tit for tat situation. It's conditional love. It's mentalized. It's this should work. We should do this. We should follow the steps. 1 + 2 = 3, and yada, yada, yada. But love doesn't operate that way. Love won't have it that way. And your heart will keep becoming more and more upset. The Chariot. All right, this is your crown, so it could be dealing with the Cancer. And again, this is that water. This is the wave of emotion. It's like suddenly you're going to have this hit in your head. You're going to have this feeling in your gut. You're going to have this feeling in your heart. You're going to break down in tears. You're going to say, like, I just can't do this anymore. You're going to make the move. Some of you guys could be moving with the Chariot card here. You're going to say, I'm not happy here. I want to move. Some of you guys could say, I'm not happy in my job. I want to change my job. Some of you could say, I'm not happy and our relationship is stagnant. I want to move this relationship forward. I want to awaken passion. Can we have this passion? Because in the Chariot, there's the white horse and the black horse. This is saying I want all sides of the cake. I don't just want the vanilla or the chocolate. I want both, and I should be able to have both, and I deserve both because I'm living this human experience, and there are experiences as a human that I would like to have, and I deserve a partner who supports those, and who supports my light and my shadow, who supports me integrating all the aspects of myself. This is someone integrating, and as they're integrating, it's creating stalemate in their relationship because it's making their partner uncomfortable, or it's making them uncomfortable. But point blank period, the issue here is Page of Swords in reverse, immaturity and lack of communication. So without the communication here and the immaturity, then the thing can't change. But we do have the Chariot coming in. The Chariot is going to wield in that change. With it being a major arcana card, it's going to trump that Page of Swords. And with that Ten of Pentacles here, this is like your soul knows what it's... Five of Swords. So yeah, this is going to start a fun, comfortable conversation. This could definitely start a fight, so to speak. This could be a really frustrating experience with this person. Fives are all about challenges. But in relationships, we have to learn how to have these uncomfortable conversations and just say, I am not fulfilled by this anymore. And because I'm not fulfilled in this anymore, we need to work on this, or we need to separate. This, Haley, this reading is for all signs. This is a collective reading. So I'll do a couple different scenarios, and it's just, if it's your story, it's your story. But no, this reading is not specific to any one sign. Okay, so moving forward, after this fight, or if you've already had this fight, so for some of you guys, you've already had this fight, you've already had this conversation, you've already had this confrontation, and you left the situation because it was tit for tat. You didn't feel like you were getting what you deserved, and at the same time, they weren't pulling their weight, or you guys were mismatched. There's just some lack of balance here. And I'm really feeling it's just because someone is ascending faster than the other person. So on the path, we have you as Ace of Cups in reverse. Now what I'm feeling this is, I'm not feeling this is necessarily a breakup, but I am feeling that this is, you've depleted yourself. You've given all of your energy to this relationship, all of your energy to the kids, all your energy to work. You've given all of your energy and you don't have the energy anymore. And that's why you couldn't give unconditionally in this relationship anymore, and that's why it just dried you up. When I see this Five of Swords, I really just think of super, like, dried, parched, just, like, sizzling ash. This is, you know, like, after, this is a forest fire. We Need a Forest Fire, incredible song. I play it in Shavasana in my yoga classes, like, all the time, so, okay. With the Ace of Cups also in reverse, this is saying there's a part of your childhood that is really wanting your attention and really wanting you to love on it. So if there's like a favorite stuffed animal that you had when you were a kid, or if you have like any old toys from when you were a kid, if you could just pull those out and sit with them and let yourself just kind of snuggle them. Or there's something here about, like, you know, if you have like an old dollhouse or like the Barbie mansion or something like that, like there's something you used to play with, there's a need for you to just like soften like water. And that's also why I've just been feeling a lot of this water energy. I mean, we have the Chariot and the Ace of Cups, which are very strong watery cards here. Now, who you're dealing with is the Ten of Wands. So they're feeling very burdened by this. They're feeling burdened by their work. They're feeling burdened by their parents. They're feeling burdened by being a parent. They're feeling burdened with this relationship. They're feeling burdened. Everything is combusting on them, and they are probably just like ghosting you or ghosting the situation or checking out because frankly they don't have the capacity. So how can you even be upset that they're reacting or responding that way, because they just don't have the capacity. Now, Hopes, Dreams, and Fears is Knight of Swords. So this is wanting swift communication. It's like someone here was patient, you may have been patient, or they may have been patient, but you guys are like stalemating each other on like who's gonna speak up first. And you guys want to, I mean, but there's two hawks here. That's not an eagle. Those are hawks. So the thing with the Knight is this is still ego that needs to be worked out, and this is still karma that needs to be burnt through like that forest fire energy. And see, to bring the water in, to bring the rain in, to come back out to the ocean waves, to ride the waves, to fill up that cup again so that you can experience fulfilling, passionate, delicious ecstasy and bliss and love with your partner, you're going to have to move through. King of Pentacles is the outcome. Okay, and it's upright. This is a bomb reading, because for any of you guys who left a relationship because it was like tit for tat, you are literally leaving this relationship, and as you fill your cup, so like Knight of Swords with King of Pentacles, someone is going to come in and swoop you off your feet. Like literally someone is going to come in and swoop you off your feet, and they're going to want exactly what you want, like exactly. And let me tell you guys, as a wedding photographer for 13 years, this shit happens. I've seen people who have gotten married 3-4 times, and they've been engaged for 1, 2, 3 years, etc., etc. And then they're this like final marriage that I'm doing, this final wedding, they're like, girl, we just met 3 months ago, and I was just like, I didn't want to do this marriage thing anymore, but when I met him, like our souls just knew. And how it happens like that is because you know yourself. When you know yourself to a certain level, you can't help but attract the right love. And so that's why people who have had very serious relationships that were like marriage, even if you didn't get married, if you had kids together, that's technically energetically married. If even you got pregnant together, but the kid never made it out into this world, that is getting married on a soul level. So this is one of those things where you have been through this energy, and because you've been initiated into wife or husband or mother or father, if you've been initiated into those things, then even though to you, you're like, I just met the right one. How did I just meet him in 2 months? And then the 3rd month we're getting married, which I'm not going to say this is like all the time, but I will say most of the time, people, couples, in my experience that I've witnessed, that all of my couples whose weddings I've done, who have like kids and have really beautiful marriages and are really happy, had tiny like short engagements, and they got married right away, and they just knew, and they weren't nervous on their wedding day. They weren't nervous at all. They were just like, thank God I found my partner. Like, thank God I found my partner. And they're like, would you divorce like your sister or your mom or your dad? No, like they're fam for life. They're your blood family. It's like, even if you don't always agree with them or this or that, you don't like their changes, you still love them, and you should have that thought towards your husband or your wife. And obviously abuse and cheating and all those things Obviously, I understand completely, make it where people have to leave and walk out of certain situations, but that's why if you were in a relationship that was serious or a marriage before, you are now in this place where you are just getting initiated and you're finally getting your person. And King of Pentacles, it's like, for women, it's like, you know, it's like if you've thought like I want to be a mom or I just love being a mom, like you're going to attract someone who's like, being a dad is fucking sexy. Like I want to be a dad. Like I want more kids. Like you're going to attract that and you're going to be amazed. Like this person is going to walk in your life and like everything that you're like, well, I have this weird kink in the bedroom. I don't know if they're going to accept me for that. And it's like you say it to them and then they just like love you more and they're like, damn babe, like that's so sexy. Like I love that you love that. And you're like, what? Like every person I've ever dated before you thought that was so gross and they shamed me and they thought like, you know, I told myself that I couldn't be this type of sexuality, or I told myself that I wasn't allowed to want to experience X, Y, and Z fantasies. And then all of a sudden, like, you share it with this person, and it's like you guys have the same fantasies. You guys are just, like, on the same page. You're just, you know, and they're grounded, they're balanced, they'll talk to you about things. Like, when triggers come up, they'll just be like, damn, babe, that's really triggering because X, Y, and Z. Like, thank you for enlightening me to that, or thank you for showing me that. It's like, you'll be so mind blown at how smooth the fights are because you don't fight. You literally, like, you found your partner, like, you found harmony. And that's the thing, like, the true unions, true blood, like, highest, for your highest self unions, it's harmony. It's simply harmony because, again, coming back to my vision of couples walking around being their own symphony and orchestra of instruments, like a perfect orchestra, it's like they're all in flow. And I'm going to post this in the comments on my Facebook Live, but if some of you guys saw my story yesterday, there was a murmuration of birds, which is when the birds all like fly together and they were making like spirals and like rectangles and they were literally all flying together, and it's these thousands of birds, right? And I'm sitting at the bar and watching this. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm listening to harp music. I'm feeling like I'm watching some like Earth documentary. But it's like IRL in real life. And so I'm sitting here and I'm watching them all, and it's like, that's what good love and honest love in a healthy relationship does. And the murmuration of birds, like, they don't plan. They're not like, all right, we're going to be engaged. We're going to date for 6 months. Like, we're going to have sex on, like, this date. You're going to meet my parents on this date. We're going to have kids at this age. They don't play, like, we're going to have X amount of money, and I'm going to have X amount of money, and then we're going to have, like, this amount of money, and blah, 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 blah. Like, it doesn't work like that. When you find someone that your soul just makes music with, then all of a sudden you just start doing this ebb and this flow and this dance, and people see all those birds, and they're like, how do the birds not knock into each other? And it's like, how could the birds knock into each other? Because all the birds are literally, if everything is frequency, everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. So it's like these birds simply are all in the same frequency, all the same vibration, all the same energy wave. And it's just like they're literally all just mirroring each other in a really beautiful, harmonious couple who has done the work on themselves, who have shown up for themselves, who have made peace with their shadows, who have made peace with their parents, who have made peace with the people who have wronged them of their past, only want partnership to just spread love. They only want partnership to experience this budding of love. They only want partnership to just extend and multiply and exponentially multiply this feeling of love that they've worked so hard to attain, and this harmony that they've worked to attain within themselves. It's just a harmonious dance. And so their symphony, their orchestra that they're putting on is just so beautiful. It sounds so good that they draw other couples into them, and other couples look up to them. You know, I think of Craig Groeschel and Amy of Life Church. Like, they are a couple that I just really, really look up to. And I love how Craig speaks about marriage. And there are just so many couples like that. So that's the other thing I want to say is, if you are wanting that, then you need to have role models for like what that looks like. And you need to see the actions that they're taking. You know, not necessarily copy them at all, but these are just things that you can refine in yourself, because as we refine ourselves, we refine our instrument. And everything in life is simply about bringing the body in tune. This has been proven time and time again. In the heart program that I'm doing, there are all these studies of the organs in the body. Every single organ in the human body has a specific key, a specific note that it resonates with. So just saying, for example, say if your kidney was the key of C, then literally if someone has like kidney disease or they have issues with their kidneys, then just playing the C would actually start healing and tuning their kidney back to C, because perhaps their kidney is just a little sharp or just a little flat. And so that's literally every organ in the body has a note, has a key. That's why music is so incredibly healing and so powerful. And we just live in a society now, you guys, where we're just so just robotic. I do the this and I do the this and I do the and I make the order, and we're not living in our hearts anymore. We're not living in our humanity. We're not feeling things. And so it's so beautiful to see that murmuration of birds at the barn yesterday and be like, this is literally what I was going to talk about, because my live Sunday was supposed to just be about healing the body. And that's just what I wanted to say is my number one thing with healing the body is infusing every drop of water that you put in your body with love. Before you drink water, can you just whisper thank you? Just simple things like that throughout your day, because it needs to get to a place where it becomes unconscious, just like those birds flying in the murmuration. They're not consciously choosing to fly X, Y, and Z. They're unconsciously doing a dance, and they're just like, okay, I just feel and just woo, and I'm just going this way, and I'm just whoo. Like, they're in flow, like they're just in flow. And so when we do that with ourselves, then that's when we start to flower. That's when our life purpose, what we're brought on this planet to do, to bring forth, the medicine that we're here to bring out to others, just starts flowering out of us, and we can't help it because it's a seed that's been nurtured. And so every time you drink water, just whisper thank you. Every time you eat a meal, pray over it. Even if you don't have any belief in God or whatever, you can still pray over your meal and just say, like, I want good energy, positive energy to go into this food, and thank you. Like, I'm giving thanks and appreciation for this food that is going to sustain my body, that's going to heal my body. And then ask yourself if the food you're eating actually is healing or if it's hurting. And then ask yourself, why are you putting that in your body? So then the second thing is just asking yourself, journaling every day and just asking a couple questions. How do I feel today? How did I feel about the things that I put in my body today, and why did I put those things in my body, and how did I feel about my interactions with others today? And if you just ask yourself, you're like an island of mysterious vibration. I like it, McLean. Thank you. Thank you for seeing me. So if you just ask yourself these 3 questions, then that would be really powerful for a self-practice here. Okay, let's see, 27 minutes. Okay, so now going to some of my downloads here. Just being really mindful about the words you're using. Really mindful about the words you're using. So that's where I'm saying, like, really put thought and intention. Say thank you to the water every time you take a shower. Visualize when you're in the shower that the water is gold liquid just seeping through your crown and melting through all of your cells, and that it's literally trickling out into all of your limbs, all of your vessels, and it's just nourishing and it's healing. Because if we think disease only grows in standing water, a running river never builds disease. Like, if we keep the channels of our body of water, if we keep them moving, if we keep them flowing, then we'll receive healing. And all disease is it happens when you are too much out of your body and you're living too much in your head. So disease physically can't happen when you're fully embodied, because when you're fully embodied, every single energy channel of your entire vessel is in flow, and it's constantly flowing and working together. Now, it's extremely difficult to achieve a space like that, and a lot of us will achieve that flow in certain parts of our body, in certain energetic points along our spine. We'll achieve a taste of it, and sometimes when we achieve a taste of it in one area, we actually offset and set another area out of balance. And so that's why it's so important to spend time constantly changing, just constantly evolving. Acorns kept falling. So there's something here like, they didn't hit me on the head, but I just thought, okay, an acorn could fall and hit someone on the head. And then I turned on my computer to start editing, and the first thing on the news popped up was some kids rolling a log off of some cliff and it hitting a woman in the head, and of course her passing. God bless. However, this is like a metaphor that some of y'all are really about to be smacked on the head or smacked upside the head, and it's like you're not realizing something and you're too much in your head, and so it's like the universe is trying to knock you out of your head and down into your heart. It's literally trying to like Rafiki boop you, like good Rafiki boop, and like drop you from your head down into your heart. And Osho talked about that in his book of Secrets, The Secrets of Love and Liberation. He speaks about how people will talk down on people falling in love. I don't want to fall in love, I want to rise in love. And he's like, idiots, yes, you want to fall in love, because when you fall in love, you fall from your head into your heart. That's what it means. You're falling from your head into your heart, and love forces you to fall from your head into your heart. It forces that. Otherwise, it's really not love. It's lust. It's an aspect of love. It's a kind of like slice of it, but it's not 100% unconditional love. It's got to be in the heart for that. Power animals for some people, maybe skunk, bobcat, raccoon, and wolf. Something around like slipping, slinking around the corners here, like being smoother in your transitions. Smooth transitions, relaxing more. If you're a person who always goes running, try on walking. Only when you surrender and rest does the energy become totally pure without tension or resistance, and that is when your abundance comes in. So for people who are struggling with their work situation, struggling in relationships, struggling at all, it's only when you surrender and let yourself fully and deeply rest, every cell in the body wholly deeply rest, and you quiet the mind and still everything, that your energy can start to purify itself. And in that purification process, the tension gets released, the resistance gets released, and as tension and whatnot releases from you, then you will instantly come into this place of abundance. And so, some people look at others and they'll just be like, I can't, like, how do they have X, Y, and Z? How are they so happy? How is it so easy for them? And it's like, well, for one, their energy is pure essence. It's pure. It's purified. There's no resistance in them. There's no tension in them. And unfortunately, that's how some of the greatest rulers that are like bad guys, so to speak, get their abundance, because they had no resistance, they had no tension. They're just like, this is my purpose, this is what I'm here to do, and even though it's going to cause hell for all these other people, I'm just like calm and grounded, and I got my drishti set, and I'm just anchored in, and there's no resistance, and I'm all in a flow state. And yeah, it's maybe towards a negative thing, but that's why we need more positive people to jump on that energetic vibration and to jump on that way of operating, because then the world would be a much better place. And we're getting there. We are definitely getting there. So the birds don't plan or communicate, they just know. They just match a certain wave of frequency. And when you match a wave of frequency with other people, you can speak telepathically. I have many friends that I speak telepathically with, and it's not that difficult a thing when you're on the same vibration as others. When you favor yourself, others will favor you. So this is a self-worth thing. So there is, Haley, I love you. Hi, Archer. Hello, Michael. Okay. Hi, people. Okay, so hello, Marjorie. Just want to say hi to people. Hi, Mia. Okay, so favor yourself and others will favor you. So this is the whole energy of like, I think of animals. Animals want to go to like, they just see energy. Like if they see someone that's like bitter and that's like plunking around, that's like miserable, your horse, like the horse is probably going to run around the pasture and be like, man, he looks like miserable today. I'm just going to like run around and make fun of him and make him chase me for an hour before he catches me. Or, if your horse like really loves your frequency and energy, he like lights up. It's like you arrive at the barn and you're just this beaming white light, and then your horse like sees that beaming white light and it just like goes up to you because it just feels that energy. It's like if you've ever had an animal come up to you at the zoo or come up to you in the wild, it's because you're vibrating just that love energy. You're just in an essence. They're like, look, it's one of those human things, but it's not all up in its head. It's actually like in its body, and it's actually like in its heart space, like, I want to go check that out. People are like that too. So favor yourself and others will favor you. So it's a self-worth thing. Love your work and others will love your work as well. So if you're like, why am I not getting clients? Why this or that? Well, maybe you're not posting your work enough. There's obviously something to be said there. But maybe you're not really loving your work enough. Like maybe you're only doing your work because you're like, I need to do work because I need money, and work gets me money, so I need to do work to get money. and then your work is going to go to shit. So this is something about really loving what you do and only doing what you love, because if you do what you don't love long enough, then the universe is going to combust on you and it's going to rip everything away from you if you don't walk away. So the universe is like, bitch, I gave you like 10 times to walk away from that job, that relationship, etc., and you didn't. So now I just have to pull the trigger, and now it's going to be really uncomfortable, but we got to get you out of there. So, because you're supposed to be doing something else. Having to walk back and forth or revisit a place. So this is when you like go to the kitchen, you're like, crap, I left my phone charger. And then you're like, crap, I left my coffee. And then you're like, crap, I left my book. And then you're like, my car keys are actually, and then you're like, I left my wallet. I left my mask. When you like leave something and you have to walk back and forth or revisit a place, the universe is asking you to stop wherever it's taking you back to and acknowledge and appreciate a memory that you've had there. So, yeah, it's just like if you've had to walk back and forth through a hallway a bunch, then just like pause and just really acknowledge, like listen for it. There may be a time when you were like laughing in that hallway with someone that like you hate now, and the universe is like, but can you remember that one time that you were cracking up laughing and just like laughing in tears and your heart was so full of joy with that person? Like, can you imagine, like, can you just remember that moment? Can you just acknowledge and give thanks, even though you and that person aren't friends anymore? Can you just acknowledge that moment when you guys really loved each other and you guys were laughing together? And let yourself hold on to moments like that. So revisiting any place or in person, if you're like driving around and you drive by, you know, a place that you're like, oh man, I haven't seen that place since my ex, yada yada, this, that, and the other. Flowers with good soil, warm sun, and clean water can't help but grow. So be very mindful of what you're putting in your body. Being fully in every moment. We have to feel things to heal them and acknowledge them. If you don't fully feel it, if you only feel it like 60%, 70%, 80%, 95%, it's not 100%. And until it's 100%, you're not going to fully heal it. It is a fine art to do the dance of partnership. Partnership is a dance. It's a choice also, and it is a commitment. It is a symphony. A couple wrong notes will go unnoticed in your marriage and your relationship, but after a while, you realize that you've stopped making music a long time ago, and all you're doing is screeching at each other. So again, this is that going back to that whole thought of thinking of every relationship in your life like a symphony of instruments, and asking yourself, like, are we just catching a couple wrong notes here and there, or like, do we need to do some serious retuning, retoning, and learn how to sing together, make music together, and play together again? Partnership is the most beautiful display of God, love, grace, harmony, mercy, telepathy, when both instruments are tuned to source. When both people, both instruments are constantly tuning themselves to source, and they're listening to the conductor being source, not themselves, not their ego, but they're listening to the conductor, and they're looking at that conductor, and they're playing their instruments, and they're this orchestra of instruments, and they're playing, and they're just watching the conductor, and their eyes stay on that conductor. That is when marriages flourish. That's when they flower. That's when they blossom. Those are those power couples that we look up to in celebrities. Those are people that experience ecstasy, and God gifts them these incredible things because they actually did the work to experience that, and because they kept their eyes focused on Him. They kept their eyes focused on the conductor. They kept retuning their instrument. They had enough awareness to know, shit, my cello's out of tune. Oh my gosh, my harp's out of tune. Oh my gosh, my notes are flat. Oh my gosh, I'm not even playing in the rhythm. I'm not even playing in the rhythm of the rest of the orchestra anymore. Shit. And it's like the conductor's like, it's okay if you wrong notes, like if you miss notes, that's okay, that can slide, but keep your eyes back on me, get your eyes back on me, and then this will sound like a symphony again. So there's something here about also celebrating surrender and leadership, listening and your most authentic truth speaking. Some Bible verses I just really liked. Matthew 19:26, but Jesus beheld them and said unto them, with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. Luke 1:37, for with God nothing shall be impossible. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Pay it forward is the next one. So next time you go to a drive-through, pay it forward for the person behind you, or just at work, if you know what your coworkers like or whatever, pay it forward, get them something. There's a very strong energy that if you pay it forward during the month of October, you will get whatever you pay forward back, like trillion-fold back to you. So this month, really pay it forward. Pay it forward in acknowledging people, pay it forward in any way that you can. And I think that is all. So, all right. Thank you guys. I love you all. And message me if you'd like a personal reading, as always. And this will get saved. So, thank you. Thank you.